Looks good. Alright.
Sorry, that took a moment. He couldn't find an image of his character. Me up, huh?
What?
Was that just...
Yep.
Wow. Can we use this? I'm at the point where I really don't like that brush set. It's not attractive. All right. Today I'm actually working on a commission for one of my friends. It's a character named Nyx, and we are turning her pirate. And as I spill all over everything. Will you grab me some paper towels, please?
Definitely.
As you can see, I'm prepping the wet palettes for Atla and I. Wet palettes are awesome because they help to keep the paint moist for longer, so you're not going through as much paint. Now, if you're just starting and you're just trying to decide whether or not mini painting is a thing for you, what you're really going to want to do is you could just start with a little Tupperware container with a little sponge. Get the sponge down, and then you can use butcher paper, but you want to use the type of butcher paper that doesn't have wax on it. I think I gave you two. Nope, I didn't. As the paper, and then you're going to want to. Then you're going to want. Okay, I just went blank on what I was saying. Sorry, long shift today. All right, so then you've got the butcher paper in place of this paper, and then when you put the paint on, you're going to put it on the paper part. Also, it's good to have a mister like this so that if the paper starts to dry out, you can just spray a little light coat on it.
So Lynn's wondering if our mic is on.
I think is my mic on?
No, it's just pointing in the wrong direction.
Again? I thought it's always this little speaker thing.
Yeah, it was like bleh.
It always wants to hang down on me. Is that better? Can you
Is it better, Lynn?
Can you hear me? I always manage to put stuff in front of the camera, which isn't very helpful. Here's your paper towels. Oh, you've got one.
Yeah. She says it's still drooping too much.
Gosh darn, it's never satisfied. No matter how I try to position this thing, it always decides to drape. It doesn't look like it has the lights on either. Are the lights supposed to be on?
Yeah, well, no, I set it so. She says maybe put it on the collar part.
That's what I'm doing.
Okay.
Is that better?
I guess we'll find out.
A mess maker. Okay.
She says it's a bit better.
A little bit
So-
better. Maybe it's just malfunctioning for me today,
Well,
which would really suck. Okay. So as I was saying, since you couldn't hear me, is I am doing Commission Pirates today. Very exciting. They're based on a character named Nyx, but instead of blonde, we're going to turn her redhead, and we're going to turn her into a pirate. Fun, fun, fun. I'm so excited to do this commission. Okay, and as I was saying, in case you couldn't hear, wet pellets will be your best friend. It's really nice. Okay.
Ren's so excited to see us on the TV.
Hi, little Ren. Grandma loves you. I know. I'm so used to looking at the phone. Hi, Ren. Grandma loves you. Okay. I've got to turn it to YouTube for me, too, so I can actually see what she's saying.
She says, I love me a good pirate. Who doesn't?
Yeah, I know, right? Pirates are hot. Oh, no. What in the heck is that?
No, you just turn the volume down.
I'm trying to. Turn the volume down. Paint night.
What?
All right, cool. I can now see what people are saying. Yay!
What?
Okay.
Okay.
So as I was saying, if you're just starting out and you don't have a ton of money and you want to see if mini painting is for you, you can make your if you don't know if it's something for you. A good way to start is just to make your own makeshift wet palette, which could be a sponge.
What was that?
Shows it's a video from Julio.
Huh.
Okay, so you'll want to use a sponge and then butcher paper without wax on it. You just cut it to fit the top of the sponge. You dampen the sponge, put the butcher paper on top, and spray it with a little mist. It helps keep the paint moist for longer so the paint lasts longer, because otherwise you're going to be going through a ton of paint. So excited about these. I wonder if the paint will stick to them. I'm going to experiment to see if I need to put a primer on it.
I like me some spearmint. By the way, thank you very much to our good friend Miss Bell, who painted this lovely picture for us for Christmas.
Yes, she thought you guys might like something pretty to look at the background instead of a fire crackling.
Yeah.
But
I
too
mean, fire
bad,
crackling's pretty cool, but I think
you won't have the background noise, but at least we get a look at a pretty picture.
Yeah, I like it.
And if you guys decide you still want background noise, just let me know and I'll figure it out. Okay, so I'm going to start with a nice little skin color, and I'm going to test this. Most of the time you want to put primer on a figure, but sometimes there's certain types of plastics that minis are painted out of that automatically hold the paint. So I'm just doing a little test run to see if the paint sticks to it without priming it.
Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and continue painting my luscious Ranger.
And something that I know that a lot of people that have gone to our classes before already know this, but I like to say it in case there's any new people watching. A lot of people go straight for the teeny tiny itty bitty, really narrow, thin brushes.
You mean like this one?
Yes.
It's like it's almost like a literal needle.
I am perspiring. Okay. If you have a brush like this with the thicker top and a nice point, it actually gives you more control of the paint when you're starting out.
Yeah.
You keep the fine brushes for the fine details in the end, which is something I might actually do on this one. Woohoo, you guys get to see me do tiny things.
Fine details. Sea sails.
I'm just going to check on a little piece of leg here to see if the paint sticks
A
properly.
little piece of leg, yeah.
Yes, a little piece of leg. Woohoo. Looks like it might need a little bit of primer. What's going on? I mean, I could put layers, but it doesn't look like it's going on as a solid flow. Let's see. Where is the primer? That's something I forgot to get out. There it is.
The white one?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, it's right there.
I found it. Okay, it shows that last thing that we saw was I Love Me a Good Pirate. Has there been more since that?
Nope.
Okay. Just making sure I'm not missing anything and everything's working properly.
Yeah.
Whoa. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's why you always make sure that the top is dabbed off before you close it, or else it will slap primer all over the place.
Lovely. That's fun.
That's fun.
I should point it this way.
So it gets all over the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm joking, please don't do that.
I won't do that. I'm just
Okay.
teasing. I wouldn't do that. Your camera's too nice. Okay, so as you guys can see, I am going to do the basic priming. And nice thing about this liquid primer that we use, this Pro Acrylic, you don't actually need to put a lot on there in order for the paint to stick to it. All you need is just to get a nice light coat. The paint should stick on it just fine. When I first started out, I actually used spray primers, but unless you can get that down very quickly, it can add a lot more paint, a lot more primer on your figure than you want, which will hide a lot of their details. It could fill in gaps and stuff. So when you're just starting, maybe start with a brush on primer. And then, but if you do decide to go with a spray primer, I say just test the distance of how much sprays on at a time on a piece of cardboard or something outside before you put it on the figure, so you know about how far you want it from the figure so that it doesn't cake everything. Also, you want to make sure that the primer is not expired and it's got a wide spray cap on it.
Yeah.
Explain to them why. I forgot the reasoning, Atla.
I don't know. I just like it. I just joke. The wide spray nozzle just they call it, okay, so in tagging circles, like if you're into what's it called, graffiti. Shout out to my graffiti lovers out there. Basically what it does is it allows the flow to come out at a much more wide cone shape instead of a traditional flat kind of edge that you would get from a normal normal spray. Sorry, I'm just like really going to town on this character. I'm having a lot of fun just putting down the first coat. But yeah, basically the reason why this is really good for miniatures is so you can have a much more even coat. It's the same thing that if you were uh, what's it called? The other thing, spray doodly bop.
Spray primer.
The airbrush. That's the one. If you're airbrushing, then you want it to be a kind of wide cone so it goes on a lot more smoothly instead of it going on. Um, Man, I need more light or something. Which is weird because we have a lot of light right now. But yeah, the wider cone just allows the primer to go on a lot more even so you don't get like chunks and splatters and stuff like that, which is what is very normal for a lot of companies like Citadel and Army Painter. Their spray-on primer usually comes with like the traditional cap, which is like the kind of thin, tall cap that you would normally get on a spray bottle or on a aerosol can. And that's why it's better to get the New York like stubby ones. They're like thicker and a little bit shorter, and they have a much more even spray cone that comes out.
Also, if you're familiar with using spray primers and stuff with other crafts and projects, I haven't always. When I first started, sometimes like the brand name stuff for mini painting can be kind of expensive. And so I've actually just used basic craft store primer in the past. You just need to make sure that you like the brand and like I said, test it on a piece of cardboard to make sure it doesn't go on too thick.
Yeah.
If you end up just, picking a primer from like craft store or Walmart or something. We also do know some people that when they're just starting out, they don't really want to spend a whole ton of money on mini paints, so they lean towards like the basic acrylics that you can get at any craft store. The thing is that if you those acrylics, they're not always the same consistency. So if you do end up using regular acrylics that are for craft paint and stuff like crafting and stuff like that, you're going to want to water it down about the consistency of milk or half and half, just so it doesn't go on your character too thick and fill in all the little creases and details.
Right.
I'm so excited about these sexy pirates.
Sexy pirates. That's fun.
It is fun.
Why is painting attractive characters so much fun?
Honestly,
Huh.
I've always liked attractive characters, whether it's in minis or things that I've painted on canvases.
Huh.
The one thing that inspired me to start drawing and stuff, and okay, so I started with the chipmunks. I'm like, oh, cool, I can draw those types of faces. I can draw that type of hair,
Like
whatever.
Alvin and the
Yeah,
Chipmunks?
that's how I
Interesting.
learned how to draw. And then when I got older and I was ready to do more detail, I actually watched Robotech, and that gave me ideas on how to do more detailed eyes, shading, and stuff like that. My characters never end up looking like anime, by the way, but it inspired me to expand and try to do things more detailed. I don't believe I ever went through a stick figure stage though, which is weird.
Yeah.
I always gave my artwork a little bit more meat, I guess, than stick figures. I mean, not that stick figures are bad. Stick figures are awesome. But I just never went through a stick figure stage myself.
It's probably for the best.
Yeah. I mean, it's great for getting proportions and stuff just right, though. When you're learning portions and where to put the eyes and stuff on the head and everything. I've watched my daughter do it and turn a stick figure into something extremely beautiful. It's very impressive. But it's hard for my brain to put the pieces together on how she does it. I just try to draw what's in my head and paint what's in my head. And it never turns out that way, but it's always pretty cool. My daughter, as in Lynn here, amazing artist, spectacular in the drawing world and the crafting one. She's even paying attention.
She even does the whole crocheting thing.
We're actually going to interview her one of these times so she can talk to you guys about her crocheted crafts, which
That
should
would
be really
cool.
fun. It's going on so light. I'm worried that I'm not getting everything. I hope I am. I'm going to see what Julio sent me while it's slow. It's hard to believe you haven't drawn over a year, Lynn. So what Lynn says is she recently got a new sketchbook and drew Ren some stuffed animals, and she thinks that they turned out pretty good for someone that hasn't drawn for like a year.
That's cute.
Yeah. Does she get excited when she sees the pictures? Do you let her color them?
Oh.
We'll have to show off some of your drawings too, Lynn, if you're all right with it. But really exciting on the 8th, our buddy Mud, who does blacksmithing, he's going to come and talk about his art while we paint together. So you guys are going to really want to tune in for that one. Should be really fun. You could see what types of minis he paints as well. Aww. She really likes to pick out colors and draw with them. Color with them. But she has a habit of trying to eat the colored pencils. Well, you don't know if it's the right color unless it tastes good, right?
Yeah. All the greatest connoisseurs on the planet taste the colors.
Yeah, we're really
We eat the
excited.
colors before we understand them.
We're really excited about mud coming.
It's very posh to eat the colors.
Yes, colors. Every color has its own special flavor. As long as it's
Yes.
non-toxic, she'll be okay.
This Bondsmith yellow tastes like
Yes.
daffodils.
Yes.
Very good.
Got her laughing. I did that with my kids when they were little as well. I knew they were a bit young, but I let them
Heat
play
paint.
with colors and made sure it was non-toxic. I even made edible.
You just preface that with, I made sure there was non-toxic.
Yes. And I kept an eye on them in case they, you know, you don't want to let them bite chunks off or anything. But I also made peanut butter Play-Doh. So they actually had edible Play-Doh that they liked to play with on occasion as well. Of course, you want to make sure the table's clean before you let them play on it and that their hands are washed. But it can be really fun to experiment with those things with kids. I keep pushing the table away, don't I?
Ugh. Ugh.
Lynn, I actually have the recipe around here somewhere if you ever want it. I can look it up for you for peanut butter Play-Doh.
Just don't sing that song that the banana sung.
What was that?
You don't want to know.
Okay. Then why'd you bring it up?
I was telling Lynn not to sing it.
Oh, does she know what it is?
Probably. No, that's the one.
And I also got I'm really excited because I also got myself this cookbook that doesn't really, it's not in print anymore. It's called Cookie Creations. And it's got all sorts of interesting things to make your cookies out of, like ketchup and raisins and
barley.
potato chips and stuff like that. And I've tried them with my kids just for fun to get them into cooking and experimenting. And they just loved it when they were little. So since I no longer had a copy, it took me a while, but I found it. I even got hardback. She didn't hear what you said, Atla. She's making dinner at the same time.
No, that's
He
okay.
was talking
It was
about
just a
some
silly
sort
joke.
of banana song. He says I don't want to know about it. He says you might though.
It was just a silly joke. That was a meme. That's at this point pretty much ancient. Nothing to concern yourself with.
Now I'm going to look up banana memes.
I mean, it's like one of the oldest banana memes there is.
Banana bus?
No.
She says. Apparently not.
Older than that.
I don't even know what banana bus is.
Much older.
I probably saw it when I was getting used to using the internet. The interwebs. It's really funny because I didn't even know how to, because we weren't really raised in a household that had like the types of computers that the younger generation is used to. And anyway, so I didn't really even know how to use a computer till 2005, believe it or not. Was it before 2000? No, they didn't have memes in 2005, did they?
Yeah, they did. That's where some of the originals came from. or even before that. Like they had
It might
memes
have
from the
been earlier.
90s,
Actually, no.
like all your
We a-
base are
we
belong to
actually
us,
had our
which is one of
first
the older
we
ones.
actually had our first computer when Sean was like 2. So that would have been in 95, 96, somewhere around there where we got our first computer and I started to learn how to Google things. And then in 2005 was when I learned how to use them in a bit more detail, which got me in a lot of trouble.
Oh, fun.
Yes, I won't go into details there. All the mischief happened then. She says PBJ and baseball bats.
Yes, that's the one.
Ah, she hath found it. Have you seen it before? Were you aware of it before tonight, or are you just Googling it?
Probably she knew about it. It was all over the freaking fracking place.
Well, she had limited access to the computer as a child.
It doesn't mean that her brothers didn't talk about it.
True. Her brothers did look up some interesting things. I think most boys do, though. That weird curiosity. Of what types of things? Okay, like the very first thing that I looked up that was really funny, it was definitions of poops. That was a big thing in like the 90s. They had special names for every type of poop. My brother told me to look up poop, and I'm like,
That's gross.
definition of poop, and it was actually pretty funny. I mean, poop humor is old now, but it was pretty funny back then.
Gross.
Hope I'm not missing parts of her tail. Did you watch it when you were little? Who exposed you? They're going to be in big trouble. I don't even know what it's about, so, but yeah.
What?
To the banana thing that you said I don't want to know.
Oh, you've seen it. You've heard it. Definitely 1000%.
I'm sure I have,
one
but I don't
point-
know what you're talking about right now. Zach and Sean. Oh. I should have known. Is it something they should be in trouble for exposing younger siblings
Definitely.
to?
Because it's obnoxious.
What's your opinion, Lynn? Should they be punished? Should they be disciplined?
Severely.
I remember the first time I watched YouTube too. It's crazy. I'm so old and inexperienced when it comes to stuff. Well, I less inexperienced now, but back then, very inexperienced. Oh, she's traumatized from it. Okay. How was it that little Gergie says? Big whackings and smashings or something like that. Poor little Gergie's head.
Gergie from the
Black Cauldron.
Black Cauldron.
Yes.
Crunchings and munchings.
No, that's when he's eating.
I don't know what you were talking about then.
He talks about how he deserves to, how he had a master or something that cracked and mashed on poor Gergie's head or whackings and smashings, or
What does that have to do with bananas?
I don't know. I'm just stuck in the Black Cauldron.
That came from nowhere.
Well, I'm talking about disciplining the boys
Oh.
for traumatizing their sister,
Oh.
but I can't remember the right terms. So I just ruined it for myself.
So crunchings and munchings?
No, that's for eating. He used that for eating. Lynn, look it up. Oh, she says the bananas were just annoying.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not something that's like dirty necessarily. I guess you could think it is, but no, it's just super obnoxious.
I'm debating.
Don't look at me. I got something in my nose.
You're ducking.
That's what I need is some tissue. I got something in my nose.
I think today the air has been extremely dry,
Yes.
which has not been fun. Okay, something that you can do when you're doing eyes, if you're concerned about getting too much paint on, sometimes what you can do is you can put a little dot where the eyes are first and then paint around the eyes. And it actually gives the eyes a little black thing without you having to worry about too much. And I'm actually going to try that with this mini. I thought I had black over here, but oh yes, I do. Okay. I'll start with the black of their eye. Put the black down here away from everything else so it doesn't affect anything that I don't want it to. I'm going to go ahead and grab this little fine tip here. I'm going to dip just barely the tip in there, just a dab, like a little hair's worth. And then I'm going to dab it out on the brush to make sure I don't have too much. I'm going to go ahead and paint that eye. Now I can just paint around it later on if I need to. Okay. Also, something else that you want to do when you're just starting to paint. I accidentally got black on her wings. So what you can do if you catch it soon enough is you just use a damp brush. Use a circular motion to wash off that paint before it dries and then dab it. It's like you never did it.
Except you did.
I did, but they'll never know. Well,
No.
they will now. Okay. So I'm going to start with painting the black cat. What he wants is a black cat. And then, what do I tell you guys to do? Not use the tiny brush. I just forgot I had it in my hand. Going for the bigger brush that gives you more control. You just want a tiny bit of paint on the tip. Just a little dot. going to go ahead and paint everything that I want black.
Huh. Someone's a fan of the Rolling Stones.
I am.
Huh. Rolling Stones are stones.
Or stoned stones.
Stoned. Yeah.
I'm going to just go ahead and paint over this whole skull that's on the front of the hat, because I'm going to go back over it with kind of a light dry brush just so that I can get the lifted parts. Oh, she's got little cute pointy ears. I didn't notice that before. Something that you can do when you're doing commissions, when you're doing multiples of a figure, is you just do the same thing in a row, one after the other. That way you don't forget what colors you used, or just kind of keeps everything going smoothly, if that makes sense. So you're not missing anything because you've already painted it on the other figure. You want to start by painting the big stuff and working your way down to the little stuff, because it's easier to fix the big stuff than it is to fix the little stuff if you make a mistake.
Indeed.
So I always tell people that I'm teaching, a little bit of paint goes a long way.
Especially when you're edge highlighting like what I'm doing. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
and wet your brush frequently, because you don't want the paint to dry and cake on your brushes. Then it's really hard to clean later, or else it just flat out damages your brushes beyond compare to what they used to be.
You mean repair?
Repair, beyond repair, yes. That is what I meant.
Dude, this is like nerve-wracking but awesome at the same time.
So, Lynn, what's for dinner tonight? Do I need to be jealous of what Julio and Ren are eating? Your phone's loud, man.
I don't know why I turned the sound off, so it shouldn't be.
Lentil soup with grilled pork. The last part is under a heart. Pork. Is that BE for beans? And then bread. It sounds yummy. Pork belly. Ah, Ala. She's making pork belly.
That's pretty cool.
Atla loves pork belly.
Especially if it's like chicharron and it's like all crispy and amazing.
Yes, we are now jealous officially. She's laughing. Sorry, my nose is very tickly tonight. At work, the office was so dry, and I feel like my sinuses haven't caught up yet. So I have to keep scratching my nose with my arm. Because I don't want to accidentally paint it with the brush. So I'm also really excited because when I get these minis done, these commissions, my kids actually gave me some other minis to paint for paint night. And they're really excited to see what I'll end up doing with those. It's my choice of the colors, textures, everything, which is going to be really fun. Julio says, chicharron, laugh out loud.
Hey, there's nothing funny about chicharrones.
Did you work today, Julio? Or are they giving you some time off for New Year's? Aw, she did, huh? So you were working for Ren, working for the kid. She misses her papa when you're at work. You can't blame her.
Everybody's working for the weekend.
You guys doing anything fun for New Year's? I haven't decided if I'm doing anything yet.
Your cat's trying to dig to China.
Sounds like it. Is there a box or a bag over there that she's playing with?
I suppose so.
The cat is a bag goblin. She loves bags and boxes, but I think every
And
cat is.
being a goblin.
Yes.
I just don't want to see it kissing goblins.
Okay, I think I've got her skirt just about done. And then I'll start on the other one's skirt. Like I'm not getting the paint on the under ruffle very evenly. It was hard to get the primer in there, and I don't know if it's holding. I'll figure it out.
You will indeed.
Yes, I will. Okay, now I'm doing her boots. So what I'm doing is I'm sticking with one color, painting everything that needs to be that color on the minis. Then I'll go on to the next color. Oh, that would be so cool. Where's it located? What town? They found a vintage store today.
That's pretty cool.
And they said it was really hard to leave. I like vintage stuff. Oh, nice. Is it near where you guys live? You guys don't have to answer that. I just realized we're online. You don't need to.
It's on State Street in Orem, they said.
Okay. I'm excited to see it.
Stop it. For being on silent, this phone certainly makes a lot of noise.
Yes, it does. So did you get anything fun there? Or did you more just look around?
They said it's called the Farmhouse Peddler.
Well, that sounds like a fun name.
Yeah, I know. Sounds like a name of a shop you'd find at like Evermore.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? I miss that place.
Said that they got something, but we'll see.
Ooh, I'm excited to see.
Let me see with my hands.
Yes. I plan to do the exact same thing. I'm almost done coloring the boots, the base color. Yeah, that's something else that you want to do when you're painting a mini. It's always nice to just start with the basic colors that you want the mini to be, and then you can worry about shading and highlighting and stuff like that afterwards. Once you've got the basic colors down that you want to paint it.
Oh. Oh.
What?
Oh. It's so good.
How your character is turning out?
Yeah.
I'll have to show them. Missed some spots on the hat. I'm going to fix that really quick. It's easy to do when it comes to those little details. It's always nice to just double check before you move on to the next section. Oh, she's up to no good, clearly. She's doing the evil laugh.
Clearly.
You're going to use that to bribe us to come see that beautiful grandbaby, aren't you? Not that we need a bribery.
Yeah, no, it's like, oh no.
Oh no!
What are we gonna do?
And sometimes the paint goes on a little thin. That's okay because you can put on a second coat when it's dry. That'll just, it's better to put it on a little thin and add layers than it is to put it on too thick and lose the details. Aww. Well, I've got the next 6 or I don't work again until the 6th, which will be really nice. So that's going to open my schedule up quite a bit to where I can figure out a day to come and visit you guys again. Put in my my weekly grandma visit for little Wren. Is that when you're going to show us what you got?
Show me what you got.
Show us what you got. Oh, I'm so excited. Incentive. Not that I need any. All I need is that cute little smile, and I got incentive enough. That includes Lynn's cute little smile. Seriously, you guys, if you saw this family, the whole family's adorable.
Super cute.
Super cute. They have little papers. What type of little papers? Oh, nice. That's awesome. So they kind of help out the community along with what they're doing. That's pretty cool. She says they have newspapers about thrift events and thrift stores that they endorse. the little vintage shop that they've been going that they discovered today.
That's pretty cool.
I just noticed that this one may have a piece broken off the skirt. So they're going to be slightly different. I love those sort of mom pop shops that just try to support other shops in the community. It really helps out a lot. That's awesome. She says she had a lot of fun being there. It was hard for her to leave, and she normally gets bored. That's awesome. I'm glad you guys have had such a good day. Normally, they don't have me do 10s on Tuesday, but it's kind of funny because they went ahead and they scheduled me for a 10-hour shift today, which is out of the normal, which is one of the reasons that we scheduled for Tuesdays so I wouldn't be having a brain melt while I'm trying to teach the class. I'm surprisingly surviving this very well. No, it was Julio that said that he usually gets bored. Sorry, I misread that, Julio. That's funny. I'm glad that you had fun. Yeah, we've always liked checking out little places that aren't really well known ourselves, and just turns into quite an adventure. I mean, look at that antique shop in Provo that we took you guys to. That was amazing. It was more of a curiosity shop than an antique shop. It's pretty
like
cool.
a Penny Dreadful.
Oh, that's so cute. I can totally picture it. Ren is currently dancing and Ren is eating small pieces of bread. Oh, it feels like they have us in the house. Aw, they said it feels happy because of it. Oh, you guys are so sweet. That makes me happy. I love spending time with you guys so much. So when's your next day off, Julio? I need to get more black. My black is getting a little low. The 1st and the 2nd. I wonder if that place is open on the 2nd. Maybe we could check it out. It'd have to be later. Oh, I can't remember. It'd have to be earlier in the day because I think I'm picking up Andrew from the
On the 2nd?
Airport on the 2nd.
Yeah.
I think it's in the afternoon that he needs to be picked up.
Yeah, it's around 2.
No, it's I'm not worried about that. It'll be yeah. I'm not worried about that at all. It was really fun visiting with you on Christmas.
Dude.
What?
Oh, this
How it's
character.
turning out?
Oh.
Sounds like he's in love.
It might be.
It might be. I got competition, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. You're welcome. It's not a problem. It was so much fun spending time with you. Julio says by the way, earlier, he loves the way that you said chicharron.
Chicharron. Yeah, I love those things. So, like, if I say anything else in Spanish or even Portuguese, like a white dude, that's one thing I don't. Because I know that in Portuguese speaking countries, they really like those too, and I think they call them the same thing.
I'm gonna tickle my nose like I need to sneeze. It's not my friend.
Your nose or the sneeze?
The sneeze. It's taunting me. Okay, hand me one of those Kleenexes. I might need it here
Okay.
pretty soon.
There we go.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
You guys forgive me blowing my nose on the camera. I know it's not necessarily a pleasant thing to watch.
I can't believe it.
No, it's terrible. I've got such ill manners.
Ill.
Okay, I'm gonna. All right. Okay, braised pork is the best. Lynn can tell you.
Braised pork,
Yeah, Lynn can tell you how obsessed he's been with it lately. He says. Yeah.
It was funny because, like, I remember watching Once Upon a Time in Mexico with Johnny Depp, like, years ago. And I got obsessed finding the dish he was talking about. It was called Porco Pribil. And I was looking for it everywhere, and I was like, no Spanish restaurant even makes this. So I'm pretty sure he's just full of crap because, like, that wasn't a dish that actually made, it wasn't real, basically. And I was like really distraught by that because it sounded really good.
So it's not real.
I mean, from everything I've discovered, it's not real. I haven't found it anywhere.
Aww. Maybe it's one of those family secrets.
Either that or it was just made up by Quentin Tarantino.
It's possible, just to mess with you.
Yeah.
He knew it would be you wanting that recipe.
Yeah. What a Deutschberg.
I'll let that dry for a minute. The paint doesn't seem to be sticking to her boots very well, so I must not put enough primer on there. Or it could just be that the boots have so much texture on them that it's just not been able to get in those little crevices and cracks that like I would like. Okay, so I've got the hats, I've got the boots, I've got the skirts. So what he's wanting me to go for is this cute little pirate girl is going to have red hair, a red feather, and little brass bells on her hips. And then her top, her bodice is going to be white with some brass accents, which is going to be kind of fun to do. I'm really excited. The second coat on there, like I was talking about earlier, where the paint was kind of thin. Beanie's on her perch, overlooking everything.
Deutschberg. I'm joking.
Okay, that held a lot better. Okay, coming back to the other one to make sure I can get those nice, get that nice solid color on there without overdoing it. So we had this soup that Otla made for dinner tonight that tasted better than spaghetti sauce. There's these specific tomatoes. They're the only canned tomatoes he'll eat because they're the most pure.
Pure. They're the most
Remind me what brand that is. It's big yellow cans.
I don't remember.
If you want tomatoes that don't have sea salt in them because of the microplastics and stuff, definitely want to try out the tomatoes that he gets. The only place we've been able to find them is at Winco. The other places you've still got the brand, but it's a different recipe, which is really weird.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of poison.
Just a tad, you know? Just a little bit. What's the problem? Just a little bit of poison.
We lean more towards Himalayan salt because it's awesome. And like local salt from like the salt flats and stuff.
How can it hurt? It's just a little bit of salt. It's just a little bit of poison. How could that possibly be a problem?
Okay. I think I have her black parts just about done. So I can start moving to like the skin and the hair color and stuff like that.
I'm a splashy boy. I'm splashing everywhere. Yeah. I wonder why it keeps doing that. I have it on silent. Stop.
It's doing it just to make you say stop.
Yeah.
I almost missed her little. Make her a little bit less air under there.
A little bit less air under there. Go needle down.
There we go. Okay, now I'm going to move to the skin color because that's the next biggest thing. I've got a nice peachy color here that I've chosen to use for her. It's called Shell and Blush, and it's by
Shellen.
it's one of the Reaper paint colors. I really like Reaper paint because it doesn't go on overly thick and stuff like that. So if you want to know some good paint to start with, go for Reaper paint. I suggest that you go for containers like this that have the screw-on lid. The snap top, if you don't get them snapped just right, your paint will be dry in less than 24 hours, and then it's more of a waste of of what you were paying for, you know. So I just suggest that, and if you do get the snap tops, because I know sometimes that's the only one that you can get the colors and stuff, just make sure that you're snapping them on tight. There's nothing obstructing it that's attached to the lid to keep it from shutting properly. You should be fine. I forgot to ask Dan what color he wanted her tail, because I didn't see a tail on the character he showed me as an example. The nice thing is also with acrylic paint, it dries pretty quickly, and if you make a mistake, it's easy to paint over it, which you may not see it, but I have accidentally got the paint in places I didn't want to.
Especially on what she's working on now.
Yes.
I'm joking.
Yes. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
I was joking.
So I'm going with basic flesh tones with this character. Something that's really important when it comes to doing human type characters that you want to look like they've got a little bit of life in their veins is you can use, I've spoken about this before, but you can use like pinks and reds and, you know, just water them down and put them as a highlight or a shade on the skin, which makes the character look more lifelike, which is pretty cool.
Except for that one time where they came alive and they started chasing us around. You remember that?
I don't know if he's going to want to keep the legs peach, but I'm going to start out with that just so that he can decide whether or not he wants me to put tights or thigh highs or whatever on her. We're just going to start with the basics and work our way up with a little bit more detail as requested. I was kind of in the middle of leading a game when he explained to me what he wanted done on the character. Cute little tummy. So tiny, this little character. It's actually going on really well. I think it'll work nicely. But because of the texture on her legs, I may end up doing like thigh highs or something. We'll see. By the way, thank you, Lynn and Julio, for tuning in every week and offering the support that helps keep us doing this. Really appreciate you. And I love the fact that you've got Ren watching too. She'll know how to paint minis by the age of 4 because she'll be watching all of our classes.
Just like me.
Oh, I just realized that I painted her back and there was actually a vest on her back. Like I said, it's nice because you can paint over it if you make a mistake. I think the hardest part is going to be painting these little hands. I'm glad you guys enjoy watching. That means a lot. It's really nice of you to take this time for us. Seems like it's turning into a little family night tradition, which I don't mind at all. Makes me happy. I'm going to have a lot of fun painting her revolver. Oops, that was part of the gun. Like I said, I can paint over the mistakes as I go. Okay, now to just paint that little bit of peach on her face. Remember when I was talking about painting around the eyes earlier? It's actually working really well, so it doesn't look like the eyes are overloaded with paint. I'll let Atlas show you guys. Would you mind showing them the eye here?
Yes, actually. I'm joking, but I can do that.
Okay, now I'm working on the other one, doing the exact same thing.
All sorts of popular tonight.
Yeah, I'm getting little text messages and stuff, but I can't really look at them right now.
Yo, that is fun.
It worked, didn't it? Just to paint it black and then paint around the eye afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead and show them.
Not with that prime out, getting ready to spill and get on my
Sorry.
arm and do all
I
sorts
didn't realize
of
I
trouble.
left it open. I apologize. Those eyes are so tiny.
Mm-hmm. I think I have it up too high.
Do you?
There we go. That's better. Now it's having a hard time focusing on it.
Is it picking up our faces
It's
again?
picking up my fingers.
It's probably picking up the black on the hat too. Oh, it's so hard to see. Oh, you're showing the back of the side of her. You need to show her face.
I don't know where I am. Okay.
Right there. See that little black spot where the eyes are? It's a little fuzzy, but You guys could see it for a brief moment before he showed his. There we go. Perfect. Right there. Now you see how nice that little eye looks. Okay, they got it. Thank you.
Now my arm hurts. Not just
I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, I was gonna show what I was working on. Yeah. So I just did some of the leather. I haven't done. I did the leather and the skin kind of. Well, let me go ahead and highlight the skin a little bit more, and then I'll go ahead and show you guys. Doing one of my favorite techniques called edge highlighting.
Edge highlighting is the bomb.
Indeed,
This
diggity.
is awesome.
So the idea behind edge highlighting is that you have areas that you want to highlight with the edge of your paintbrush. I know.
So.
It's so innovative.
Yes.
Yeah. Who could have thought of something like that?
I have no idea. But they were brilliant.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty insane. So what you do is it's a lot like dry brushing. So you have your paintbrush and you load it up about halfway or so, but then you wipe off a good portion of it. Because yet again, this is a very subtle thing that you're doing. You're not trying to put like a ton of paint on this thing.
Yeah.
And then you just take the edge, you don't dab it like you normally would for detailing. You just take the edge and you run it across surfaces. Hmm.
Okay, I've got her shoulders painted. Those shoulders are kind of a pain with those cute little details. Okay, now I need to paint the upper part of her chest. I'm going to paint her face like I did the other one around the eyes. Once again, get a little bit above the eye where the hairline is. Perfect. Okay, so now I just need to paint her hands. Then I can move on to the next color. I keep bumping the table, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I don't really use the table for painting. I just use it to kind of rest every now and then.
This character's so cute. I love it. So excited to be able to do this commission. Especially when it has to do with an actual game that someone's going to be playing on a regular basis, so you know it's actually going to be used and not just sitting on a shelf collecting dust. It's just fun to know that it's people are going to be enjoying these little colored minis. Okay, moving on to the next color. We're going to go with some white. I'm going to go with more of a creamy white, though, for this figure. Let's see. I'm thinking of a Assyrian sand.
Siri.
Yep. Either that or should I go? No, that's more of a green. That's Cairnstone. Is that look like that's how it's pronounced?
Karen? Yeah, Karen is
Kairn.
C. Yeah, it's like a grave site.
I mean Cairn.
Yeah.
I don't know why I said K.
Because you used to Karen's.
Maybe. I don't know. Do you think I should go with white, or do you think I should go with the Assyrian sand for a blouse on a pirate?
A blouse?
Yeah, it's like a little bodice for here
Well,
and the sleeves.
I would do the Syrian sand because then it would look more like closer to skin tone, which for me would make it seem like it was more see-through because I like that kind of stuff, but
Mhm.
that's just because I'm a dude, I guess.
Nice, Julio. Nothing like a good meal and a good stream at the same time. I don't think he wants it to be see-through though. This is Dan we're talking about.
Okay.
He likes it to be kind of just cutesy. So maybe white would be better, right? Yes, no, maybe.
You're the Dan expert. I don't know.
Lynn, what's your opinion? You know, Dan, should I go Syrian sand or should I go white for the little top? Waiting for an answer from the Lynn. From the Lynn. You know, I could go Syrian and then go white as a highlight on top. That might look nice.
Mm.
Just to add a little bit of. Okay, so I've got two. Okay, so I'm doing the little bodice on the character. It's like a little belly shirt with the little poofed sleeves and this part. And he says he wants it to be white, black, and brass colored. The thing is that do we want to go with a more of a natural cotton Syrian sand that's slightly off white, or do we want to go for pure white for the top? Knowing Dan, because he's in the middle of running a game right now, so I can't ask him. I don't know if you can tell the difference, but I can hold the two next to each other. No, that's the Karen. Okay.
Yeah. I thought I made a dreadful mistake, but then I fixed it.
So these are the differences in colors. I don't know if you can see the difference. Hey! Hi, Joe. Hi, Heather. So glad you guys can be here.
Yeah, we were just commenting on your painting earlier.
Okay, the off-white. Okay, I'm going for it. Thanks, Lynn. Let's see. I gotta remember which box I put that had this in. I'll go with this in right here.
So this is what I was talking about earlier, how I got the edge highlighting to do all the kind of weird, cool highlighting effects on this character. If I can get this right.
So glad you guys can be here to join us tonight. I feel like that's not even That's barely even showing.
Like I said, it's just the leather and the skin that I was painting, and maybe the staff too. But that's pretty much it. Like the rest, like the hair and the cloth. Obviously, the base I haven't gotten to yet.
As I've been talking about tonight, he's working on this little hottie and that he's showing off, and I am working on a character for a game named Nyx, but it's a pirate version of Nyx that I'm doing as a commission for my friend Dan.
Total hottie.
Total hottie. Yeah, I think that this off-white is working very well, Lynn. Very good suggestion. She did really well, didn't she? None of that. Not allowed to be tired.
Really now? Oh.
Yes, I have decided.
Dang. I forgot, I guess.
I can't be tired either.
Total hottie.
Total hottie.
And I have a total hootie right here. He's my owl guy, who is the ranger character's familiar. Thinking about starting him tonight, but I guess it depends on how much more time we got. We only got 15 minutes left.
Yeah. And I'm going to be working on I'm right now with my figures. I'm just working on basic colors right now. Just getting those base colors that you want. And then from there, next week, I'll probably go into the edge highlighting and the shading, the dry brushing, stuff like that. But I'll let Atla go ahead and show you here pretty soon how, you know.
Dude, that cat is going to town on something.
She is having a ball.
Holy crap.
But let's show you what I'm working on because he reaches better than I do.
Yeah. I just reach better.
I was talking about when it comes to eye details, that sometimes it can be really nice to just when you're before you paint the skin, to just put black where you want the eye to be, and then when you come to painting the face with the skin, you just paint around the eye, which helps you to be able to get that tiny detail. You just make sure not to get the paint into any of the areas where you don't want the eye to be black. It just makes it easier than trying to get just the right size of dot at the very end, and I'm having to repaint the face because the eye ended up too big. She is so cute. I'm so excited about doing this. As soon as I get the white on them, I'll have Atlas show you guys how far I've gotten with this. want to be very careful not to cake the paint on. Because if you cake it on too thick, it ends up destroying some of the details. You want to be able to come back and see those details so you can paint them just right.
This is a paint class, not a baking class. We don't like cake here.
Oh, I like cake. I like
Not
cake.
in our painting.
Okay, now for the other sleeve. And like I was saying, when it comes to when you're painting multiple minis, they're the same. It's really nice to just do one color at a time, paint all the minis that color where you want the color, move on to the next. It helps you better keep track of what colors you're using. That way you don't have to go back and be like, okay, what color did I use on that mini last week? Because I need to do this mini this week. So it's really good to just kind of do it kind of as a, what's the right word? When you do the same thing over and over again on a conveyor belt.
Production.
Kind of a production type of setup, production line. I feel like I keep missing that little part right inside her arm there. There we go. All right, perfect. Okay, Olive, would you mind showing off for me again, please?
I would not mind.
She'll be able to see these minis I've painted so far exactly the same. Just one after the other. I think I'm going to go ahead and move on to the brass. If I've got brass here. May have to get into my other paints. We'll see.
Whoa!
Yes. You're
That
so
cat wants to-
vocal today,
Whoa.
Tia Beanie. So vocal.
Whoa!
Okay, I'm actually gonna pull out my. I think it's. Can't remember if it's my war paint or my tin. I keep these little tins. They're really nice for putting painting supplies and minis and stuff in. Glue, stuff like that.
So which one was it? You wanted
Just
to
show them both off to show that they're identical and what I've done to them.
You and me simultaneously.
I might have it in this one. Oh no, the table's trying to steal my thing again. Can you guys still hear me all right? It may have adjusted it.
Yeah, it seems like it should be fine.
Okay, so these are the paints that I'm talking about where you really need to make sure that you're shutting them completely. Because they dry out really easily. But because this is the color that I need, this is the brand that I'm going to be using.
And got the little succubus wings going on.
I'll show them in a minute. Okay, the color I'm going to be using next is Retributor Armor Base, and that's from Citadel. It's what's going to give gold to those little bells that you see around their waist at the tops of the skirts.
Lovely indeed.
Okay, these. So some that happens with this type of paint, there's this little piece right here.
So they're not water-based acrylic paints, but
These
we
are.
do water them down. So they go on a very, very, very thin.
These are water-based. They're acrylic.
Okay, well, yeah, they're...
But
Okay, yeah, so
yeah.
they are water-based acrylic paints, but, like, they're not watery.
Yeah, they're not
Yeah.
watery. Okay, I'm going to zoom in here for a minute so you guys can see this.
Not like watercolor.
Now I need to
Yeah.
lower it. Okay, right here on these types of paints, you'll see this little, oh my gosh, I'm just trying to get it right. Up a little more. There's this little thing here. That tends to stop the lid from closing. So always make sure that part's pointing up and out from under the lid. That's what causes the paints to dry. And what I do so that I don't contaminate or mix the paints, I'll use the back of a brush to just take a little bit off, put it on the wet palette, wipe off the back of the brush, and that way you're not using too much. You're spilling it all over when you're trying to get it out. I feel like this one needs a little bit more white actually before I go on to that. There we go. That's better. There we go. Now that top looks better. Sometimes if the paint does go on, as you were talking about earlier about the paint being thin, it is kind of thin, but it's not like watery thin. But the nice thing about the texture and the consistency of the paint is as long as you don't overload your brush, it goes on pretty smoothly. And there's nothing wrong with just coming back when you're done painting it with the color to come back and put a second coat on there if you need it. So I'm coloring those little bells now.
You know what? Why not? Why the heck not? Why not? I do it. I was like, I shouldn't do anything with the hair today, but then I'm like, I might as well at least get the shader done for it.
I was watching this thing. I don't remember if I was watching it with you where they were talking about as people, the longer people stream, that some of these channels are going to start charging them for extra time that they take. I hope that doesn't end up being the case with what we're doing here. So I feel like it would really take away from the experience for people.
Well, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it.
What I'm going to do when I'm done with this gold is I'm going to use a sort of reddish brown wash that I enjoy using, and it makes the gold look more realistic, makes it pop out, add some depth to it. I know a lot of paint classes on YouTube. A lot of YouTubers say that washes are a crutch, that you shouldn't get used to using them, which it makes sense. But when you're
Washes are a
just,
tool like everything
yeah, but when
else.
you get, but once you get used to it and how things work, it's going to be a lot easier to not only create your own water down paints and create your own types of washes that add that depth and everything, but also it makes it a little bit for people that are just starting out with painting.
And I wouldn't have been
Little
able to create the
minis.
contrast that I created on this miniature without using washes as at least a base for some of the colors that I
Yeah.
was working with today.
Something that I like to do is I'll use the wash to make things stand out a little bit more. And then I'll go ahead and do the edge lighting and stuff over the wash, which makes it pop more.
Yeah, exactly. Like I said, it's a tool in the toolbox.
Okay, and I'm going to show you a little bit of dry brushing today because on you probably can't see it, but on these cute little pirate girls, they have skulls and a crossbone. And the person that asked me to do the commission asked me to make sure that that was a gold color. So what I'm doing is I'm dabbing most of the paint off. I've dried it, I've brushed a lot of the moisture off of the brush. Then I'm just going to go in light circular motions over the parts that are standing up, that are popping up, to make them pop out a little bit more. Need a little bit more dry on the brush. Like I said, I dab it out just a little bit to get the consistency I want it. And then just lightly brush over it so that it stands out a little bit more. I mean, you need to go with more of a yellow gold for this part. Go back over it with a little more. Let's make it pop more.
What
What are you singing?
It's this. It's the Pellet Town theme song from the original Pokemon games.
Oh, that's fun.
It's been going around my head.
I'm also going to use some of this to do some edge highlighting just on the edge of the brim of the hat, just to make that part pop out as well. Because you know how some pirate hats have that nice little gold trim?
Trim.
And it's okay if it gets on the feathers a little bit, because I'm going to go ahead and paint the feathers next. And I'll be able to paint over the little areas that I didn't want the gold to hit. Yeah, that looks really good, actually. I'll have Atlas show you guys in a minute.
No. Yeah, sure. How do I,
I'm loving the sound effects.
I hope I didn't,
Did you go too far and mess it up?
I hope not.
Yeah, the reason I'm doing this is I don't want the hat to lose some of its detail just because you can't really see the edge. So I feel like this gold is going to really make it pop.
Oh, that's freaky stuff.
Are you ready to show it off for me?
Yeah. Then after that, we need to call it a night
Yeah,
and finish these next week.
sadly. But we will be here next week around 6 o'clock.
Yeah,
For
so
those of you that want to. I
both
want
at
you
the
to
same
show,
time?
you can just show one of them. We want to show the gold crossbones and the edge of the hat.
Oh, so you dry brush that?
Yeah.
You could have totally edge highlighted that.
I did
but-
edge highlighted on the edges here.
Oh, okay.
I went over it with a dry brush to give it to so that I
Oh, okay. That's fun. That's a lot of fun, actually.
wouldn't.
I want to see with my hands. Yeah, that's fantastic. Fantastic. All right, so let's check it out. See the hat? Super cute.
It's foggy. Go ahead, turn it again. Just get it so it can focus on the front. You're doing it backwards. We want them to see the skull on the front. Keep turning just a tiny bit more. A little more. There you go. You want to keep that right there so you can see it. Where the light hits it. You guys see that all right?
Wrong way. Where am I?
He's trying. Okay. Okay, rotate it. I may be showing it backwards, so I'm not sure to tell you which way to rotate it. Turn it. You're doing right. You're going the right direction. There you go. A little bit more. Right there. There you go. Hold that for a minute. Can you guys see that? Looks really cute. Okay, go ahead. You can take it back now. I think they can see it.
My arm.
Thank you for your sacrifice on my behalf. I really
That does look
appreciate
really good,
it.
actually, on the thingamajig.
Yeah.
On the
I think
thingamajig,
so.
the camera, whatever, doodly bop, huh?
I'm doing the same thing with the
Yeah.
buckles on the front of the boots.
Tis cute. Tis cute indeed.
I like it. I think it's really adorable. I think that Dan will like it too.
All right. So
Okay, so we're calling it good.
I'm calling it good. Did you want to check out what I did? Or like you're still painting, so you don't have to look at it
Oh,
yet,
that
but-
looks amazing. Oh my gosh. Those
Like, is it-
abs. Jeez, I can see why I've
Yeah.
got competition. Those abs, though.
Yeah, well, it's just the leather, so like the pants, the cloak, and the arm leather, and the skin, and that's pretty much all that I've done.
That
So
looks
far.
amazing so far.
And the staff, I'm pretty happy with this staff, how it turned out. I might add a little bit more yellow to it, just so it looks more like it's maple or something like that. But I kind of like how it looks now. I might keep it.
I really
We'll
like
see.
it. I think whatever you decide to do with that's going to look incredible.
Thank you.
You've always had a knack for that, though. I mean, he has got, if you want to do a mini that looks like they have wet, transparent clothing, partially transparent clothing, This is the guy. This is the guy right here.
I'm the perv that can make it happen. I'm just joking. Anyways, so thank you guys so much for hanging out with us and for donating your precious time to watching us paint and stuff.
We love you all.
Hopefully you learned something.
Yeah, we love you all, and we hope you guys had a have a wonderful, happy New Year.
Yes, definitely. This is going to be our last episode of this year.
Yeah, and for those that just
Such a
tuned in,
silly joke.
on the 8th, we're supposed to have our friend Mud
Mm-hmm.
come in as a guest who is a blacksmith, and he may be showing some of his work and
Yeah.
talking about his art and his craft. If you guys want to tune in and get his 2 cents on where to start, what types of wonderful things he's creating
Yeah,
at
if
this
you're
time.
curious about
If you're curious about it,
blacksmithing or
you
at
al-
least metalworking.
yeah, and you'll also be able to see what he's been painting
Yeah.
since he started our class.
Yeah, apparently he's
Yeah.
working on this kind of like spider monster. So Lynn,
Lynn,
will
just
forgive
be
you
be
for
be
not checking that out.
forewarned that we may have a really cool spider on here.
Yeah, it's like some kind of Shelob thing going on.
Okay, those boots look amazing too.
They do look pretty cool.
All right. Okay, we're out. We love you guys. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year!
Start singing.